evening conversation. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We look forward to a wonderful conversation with our very special guest this evening, the fabulous, the always amazing, the divine, ultimate diva, Miss Sheryl Ralph. How are you this evening?
I'm great, thank you. A tiny bit tired, but I'm feeling awesome. Thanks very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, you look like a queen. I
Thank
absolutely,
you.
you are just so always impeccably dressed. I mean,
Thank
just your
you.
smile is so beautiful. I'd love to ask you, just get starting off, the head gear that you have on, it looks like a tiara.
Oh, thank you. It's really just a headband. And headbands are coming back into style. And I discovered someone who does them by hand. So I said, oh, I need a few, and I got to put them up on my site, shopwithsheryl.com. So they'll be coming for the holidays and others can get theirs.
Oh my goodness, I will definitely be getting mine. Everybody who's watching, get yours. What is it? Shopwithsheryl.com.
That's it, shopwithsheryl.com. I really started it trying to promote the fact that we have to wear masks. And at the beginning of the year, I said we have to get people activated in the vote. So I created these masks and I said we've got to spread the message, not the disease. And I put them up on the site, shopwithsheryl.com. And all of a sudden, everybody is getting the masks. I saw the masks. Believe it or not, I saw the masks on, it was that national ABC news that they do.
Yeah.
Somebody had it on there. Bernice King had it on when, for the memorial for John Lewis. It was on the stage with Biden's grandson, I think, or his granddaughter. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the number of people across the country that were saying, spread the message, not the disease. And then everybody was like, girl, what else you got? You better
Right.
put something else up there. So that's how it all started. I've always believed Virginia Capers was a big mentor of mine. And she would always tell me, you must act, you must sing, you must dance, and you've got to have some sort of other thing that you do, because you just never know. So I've always had, as they say right now, a side hustle.
I love it, a side hustle. Well, that is amazing. I'm going to get one. My favorite color is fuchsia. I will be ordering one.
Oh, thank you.
It's just beautiful. And we have to support each other. It's that time. We always should have been supporting each other, but now, if there has ever been a time to support each other as women of color, it's so important that
absolutely. And I'm so glad that, I'm always looking for the positive when awful things happen. What's the beauty in this badness? What's the best out of this awful situation? And I think there's several that we can see out of Corona, out of COVID. And that is that Black people are so important to the workings of America, so vitally important to America. And we are so important, and COVID has pulled the covers back to show the world that we have not been treated fairly. We have not been treated kindly, and the world and this country needs to do better by us, because we keep showing up with full hearts. We keep showing up ready to give, ready to help. And very often we have not been getting the same help back. And now everybody is seeing we deserve better. And more importantly, we see that we deserve better, that we deserve more. And part of that starts by helping and respecting one another.
Exactly. Absolutely. And you said it. It starts with we have to start from within. And it goes. And so to that end, that actually leads me to my first question, where, in the last couple of years, has been a shift in the film and TV world, in that Black women are now in more leading roles, not only in front of the camera, as you know, but as executives and behind the camera as well. So here's my question. Why do you think the same has not happened in theater, or has it?
Well, listen, theater can be very elitist at times.
Yes,
You
it
know,
does.
theater can be all about those who no, 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 no. And very often, some of those people have not been very kind or good with sharing what they have. I mean, look at, I used to say this, and I wrote it in my book, Redefining Diva 2.0, that there are many reasons why they call Broadway the Great White Way.
I was going to touch on that.
Many
You know,
reasons.
can you, can you share some of those reasons why, for those who young people who are watching and just, may not know what is the mean to be what is the Great White Way?
Well, Great White Way was really, I believe, the name was because Broadway was lit up with these big white light bulbs on the marquees. And so it was the Great White Way. So, after time, from vaudeville, we started to get colored lights and things like that. So it's no longer the Great White Way as much as it's lit up brightly. But if you were to look at it in terms of the Great White Way, why are there not more Black people being given stages to present our shows? Why is it that so often it's one or two, maybe three? It's for a short run, a limited run, not that long of a run. Why are we not getting the same backing? Why are we not seen? And then sometimes, if you're fortunate enough to get into a certain circle of people that backs you, okay, then there you are. But in so many ways, the playing field has been so uneven, and it's been kept that way for a lot of reasons. But, look at movies and TV. It's because a lot of people remain consistent in banging on the door, consistent in waving the red flag. And that is the same thing that we've got to continue to do in theater. There is nothing like live Black theater. There is nothing like it. Whether it is we are recrafting, old pieces, or we're creating new pieces. There's nothing like what we bring to the stage. And we see that in theater by people of color, Black people all around the world. I mean, if we're just singing, I mean, there's something in these voices that can share pain, empathy, passion, and then when we start to act and start to tell our stories, my God, it's just something so special. And there's so many people when I watch them act, and I just see them up on the stage by themselves, and they hold our attention and they captivate us with just their being. I love it. It's like Christmas. It's just like, oh, what a great gift.
It is. It's such a great gift. And right now we're just stuck in this doggone COVID quarantine situation where we can't do anything about it. But well, we just have to keep hope that it's going
pivot.
to. Oh, okay.
So we pivot.
Okay.
We've got to work with what it is we've got now. Yes. This whole virtual world is not going away. It's not going away. It's going to be here.
Exactly.
So we're probably, just like you see Hollywood refuses to be stopped. Hollywood, we're going to make that cheddar, baby. Don't you move my hot sauce. Hollywood is going to figure out how to make it work. Exactly. If they've got to give you a COVID test every 2 days. I was up there working, doing that doggone movie. I was getting a COVID test every 2 days.
Oh my gosh.
Every 2 days, I was like, stop touching my brain. Leave my brain alone. But we've got to figure out that same pivot with theater. And it's not going to be easy, but we're going to do it. But because we have to do it, because we know what it's like to survive. I think all the way back to the start of the last century, when Black folks couldn't be on stage being just Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Black folks had to figure out how to get on stage to share their art by putting blackface on the blackface they already had, because that's the only way they could be on stage. So if we could pivot like that back then, nothing's stopping us from right now.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. So what do you think? Would you have any suggestions? Like, what can we do as creatives, as artists? Because that's who's tuned in right now. A lot of people, a lot of your fans, but a lot of creatives are sitting at home like, well, what can we do? What do you think? Do you have any suggestions?
I can tell you one thing. As
Okay.
an actor, as a singer, as a performer, I have to do it. I can't not do it. I have to do it. If I don't act, if I don't perform, if I don't find myself in a performance space, I'm not well. I need to perform. I have to perform.
That's your
I wrote a, see, you know, an actor's got an act, a dancer's got to dance, and singers must sing. If that's your thing, a writer must write. If you don't write, if you don't act, you don't sing, you're not well. So I wrote a one-woman show called Sometimes I Cry, right? And it's all about real women's real stories around HIV and AIDS. And I wrote it at a time when nobody was talking about it. And I said, I need to bring theater alive. So I called up celebrity friends. You know, I called up Margaret Avery. I just called the women's, Brandy Evans. I called the women and I said, listen, I'm going to send you this monologue and we're just going to record your interpretations. And then we're going to share our theater with people in these little boxes that we are in, because I have to.
Yes.
So I encourage everybody, if you get stopped by the barriers of the now, you were not meant for this.
Right.
Because if you're stopped by this, then that's it. You've done your thing. That's all. But if this is what you were destined to do, if this is what you must do, then you will do it. You're not going to be stopped. You're not. So you got to do what you know you can do. And there's so many young people now. What can't they do with a doggone camera? What can't they do with a phone? What can't they do with Zoom? What can't they do with FaceTime Live? What can't they do with StreamYard? What can't they do with Blue Jeans? They've got all these platforms. They know what to do, and they know how to set their cameras up. You know, I'll never forget, I was very young, Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend knew he was going to be a comedian. And Robert Townsend had this small apartment, but one room, Robert painted into like a live theater. He painted it, right? He put people, he drew the faces. I mean, it wasn't like, you know, real faces, right. But if you stood in the middle of the room, you were in a theater, right? Oh. You could enter from the door and everybody was around, right? And he would perform like that to those people because he was practicing like that. So, you know, like how we're using green screens now.
Yes.
I see a young person now painting their whole room green. I see a young person now with all those dead phones, or because, you know, they all have to have the newest phone, you know, but just because they're not connected, it means that you can connect them basically and use them as cameras. Some of these phones have incredible cameras. There's information in the phones on how to get the best level of, oh my gosh, instead of like just basic, I'm forgetting the word. Instead
of just the basic, I know what you're saying, just a basic camera, they have like 3 and 4 cameras, 2 and 3 cameras.
And you've got settings
in there
to get better quality shots. They've got all of that. And there are ways to make these things all work together. So what's stopping you? And all the things I see on TikTok, if you can do TikTok, you can do live theater.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
TikTok is essentially that's a ballet.
that's it.
That is
Nothing's stopping you
nothing is stopping us.
except you. And I write that in my book. If you want this, you're gonna get it because nobody's gonna stop you. When I was young and everybody kept telling me, you're too black, you're not black enough, you're too short, you're too tall, you're too this, you're too that. I had to at some point say, stop. I am just enough because I am me and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it.
Mhm.
You got to feel like that. If you don't
Yeah.
feel that you're the best thing since sliced bread, please get yourself another career because this is not meant for you. They put people on platforms and pedestals to knock them off, and you got to stay on yours because that's the only way you make it. And you've got to stay current. You've got to stay connected. You've got to stay passionate. You've got to stay empowered because sometimes you've got to empower yourself.
Mm.
That's the truth. Sometimes
Thank
you
you.
got to encourage yourself. And this town is full of people running down the street, losing their minds because their dreams did not come true.
Mm. And so how did you keep up with you did all that you're saying, just encourage yourself and just talk to yourself and just say, I know you've had, it actually it's been said that the only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is an opportunity.
That
That,
part,
that that's what is said. Now you just touched on it a little bit and said that you've been passed over for certain. I wanted to know if what roles that you have been passed over, if you knew of any reasons why you've been passed over them, has any of it be because of your race?
well,
And can you
first of
speak to
all,
any examples?
they're all kind of crazy reasons you don't get chosen, but that's okay. I will never, ever forget working with a young Leslie Odom. He was in the chorus and we were doing an applause version of a Broadway show. It just happened to be called Applause. And there he was, and he was like, Miss Ralph, so you know he was young. Miss Ralph, what about me? I'm a young, hip, kind of jazzy black guy with a unique voice. Where is my place in this industry? And I had to say, first of all, you're smart, you're handsome, you're a jazzy, hip, young black man. There are lots of places for you in this industry. All you got to do is hone your craft and be true to you. When that young man ever sent me my tickets to come see him on Broadway in Hamilton, I said, see, that's what you do. You keep doing you. You keep honing your craft. You keep showing up. You keep knowing that you are the best you can be. Don't just roll out of bed and think it's going to happen. No, it takes work. People aren't just going to give you stuff. It takes a while for them to give you stuff. My best roles have been given to me, yes, but it took a while to get there. You got to do the work, and the work is not easy. And if you're lazy, please get another career because this is not for you.
Right.
It's not for you. I'll never forget, what was it? Oh man, okay, this happened and this was true.
Okay.
Two women screen tested for Tina, the movie, Angela Bassett and me. I had a great dress. Oh, it was perfect. It was fabulous. Anyway,
I know you did. I know you did.
listen, the dress was so fabulous. They kept the dress. They copied the dress and put the dress on Angela. She looked very good in it too. Thank you. But anyway, they kept the dress, didn't keep me. She got the role because it was her role. She was supposed to get that. It wasn't my role. But they looked at me and they said, you're a modern woman. You're a modern woman. You're not Tina Turner. I didn't like that. I didn't believe that. I just said, guess what? It wasn't for me. And my West Indian mother would say to me, what is for you can't be unfeel. Meaning, if it's yours, it's yours. You're going to get it no matter what. If it's not yours, it's not yours. And you're not going to get it no matter what. And if you fight and get it, that's because it was yours.
Mm, mm, mm. That
Right?
makes, yeah, that's so true.
It's so, so true. There was another movie out. Lord have mercy. When I read this script, I said, I can do this. I can do this. So it was me and somebody else, and somebody I love. And they got it. Oh, they were great. They were great in it. And the movie was great. I'd have been great too if I had gotten it. That doggone director called my agents and said, she's really such a wonderful actress, but she's just too pretty. You know what I did? I called that director up and I said, thank you very much for acknowledging that I am a great actress. But don't you ever tell somebody else they're too pretty. We're called actors and we act. And you should know that. And you should understand that. If you just wanted somebody else, say that part. Don't you tell me I'm just too pretty. Please give me a break.
Mm,
That made me mad. I called him right up and told him too. Yes, I did.
good for you. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope he never did that again, because that's insulting. It sounds
Well,
like a
it
compliment,
was
but it's not.
insulting. It
It's
was
very.
absolutely insulting. But anyway, so those have been some unique times that I didn't get the roles, but look at all the times I did get the roles.
No, you are just amazing all the
Thank
time.
you.
You are, I mean, your career, as a leading lady of yourself in film and television and theater, you've done it all.
No,
You've
not
done it
yet.
with, you do it with, okay, well, what you've done so far, you do with grace and
Thank you.
integrity and dignity. And
Thank
you inspire women of all ages and all races to just be the absolute best that we can be. And
That's all you can do.
yeah, and you paved that way. And as a leading lady, now that we have a new Madam Vice President officially on January 20th, the wonderful Kamala Harris. I can't even think of enough adjectives for her. But now that you are a leading lady of entertainment, she is now a global leader and also a woman of color.
Yes.
So what changes in the entertainment industry do you foresee for us as women of color?
Well, so much has changed. In fact, when I was, during Corona, I started reading portions of my book out loud, and the audience said, oh no, you have got to give us the audio book. And Audible, and you never know where your blessings are going to come from. Audible was hearing, or somebody heard, and they said, when you finish that, can you send it to us? I sent it to them, and they said, okay, tweak this, tweak that. The book is now on Audible because one, the audience demanded it, the company heard it, and now it happened. So you can download the book, Redefining Diva 2.0 on Audible. It makes a great holiday gift. You can download the book. So that's just another thing of, you never know where your blessings are going to come from. But I wrote, I started, updating it, and I wrote in there about how the industry has changed in just 8 years. In just 8 years, when I first wrote the book, talking about what was lacking for women of color, Black women, what needed to change. In 8 years, when I released the new book, the Emmys came out. Nothing but Black actresses in those lead roles. I was just like, oh my God. And I write there about a time when I was doing a film with Robert De Niro in a film called Mistress. And Robert De Niro said, you're a damn good actress, in that New York accent of his. He said, people should see you. That it's like they should see you act. And he says, but it's too bad because Hollywood's not looking for the Black girl. And at first I took the big compliment, then I took the harsh reality. And then he went on to say, so you better climb that mountain, wave that red flag and let them know that you're there. And he said, when you wave it, who knows, it might not be for you, it might be for somebody else, but you better wave that red flag. And I was able to talk about, waving that flag and here comes this new group of actresses. I remember being told, out of all the television series that I'd been doing, people would say things, why are you going to the Emmys? It's not like you're nominated. Yeah. Why go? I was like, wow. The industry can be very harsh.
Wow.
The industry can be the industry finds little paper cuts to make you feel like maybe I shouldn't try, maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not going to be seen. And you got to know that the devil is a liar,
Yes,
and
he
that you
is.
are perfect.
Mm.
I remember I was doing Dreamgirls, and Jasmine Guy came. She was doing a show called Beehive. It was another musical. And she said, what about me? I'm this light-skinned mulatto girl. Where's my place? Once again, girl, you're young, you're beautiful. All you got to do is do you and keep showing up, keep honing your craft. What happened? That series,
It's a different world.
a different world. And she was perfect.
Whitley.
Whitley.
Yes, indeed. And people still remember and talk about her, and she can never get away with Whitley and Dwayne
Thank you.
Kim. But everybody knows Whitley.
That
Exactly.
part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So lots of things have changed. The industry will change. Having Kamala there in the White House, that will change. What's interesting is that I'm headed into my second season of playing the president. I actually played the 45th president of the United States, Kelly Wade. I begged them to name me Michelle. I said, just name me Michelle Wade. But they said, no, that would be too on the nose. Anyway, so I played Kelly Wade, and I'm president. So their minds, life always imitates art in some ways, or art is there to imitate life. I don't know, but we're already seeing the president is a Black woman.
Yes. In 4 years, it will be. And already
Hey!
on television. It is.
That part.
Yes.
Because that's what I see.
You do a fabulous, it is life imitates art. It absolutely does. And you do a fabulous job
Thank
of
you.
representing us in that White House, showing the world what we can do. As it's how I feel is it's just a lot of times racism, or actually most of the racism comes from because we are afraid of what we don't know. And because our images have not been on film, on television, and theater, so people don't know that we are the same, that they don't know. And so you're afraid of, as I said, of what you don't know. So thank you for, paving that way and letting the world know that we are human beings. We are not just what you have made us to be from slavery, or what you imagine us to be, white writers written down how a Black woman thinks and does. No, that's not okay. You have taken the reins and taken control in charge of that in this industry. And you have said, this is who we are, this is what we do. And I appreciate you. And on behalf of all of women of color, thank you. Thank you for what you've done and what you continue to do, and just inspiring and encouraging. It's thank you. Thank you.
I receive that, and I say, you're welcome. But I also think it's important for us to know that if I wave the red flag, this next group is coming in, you got to pass it. They've got to wave it. Anybody in this industry that thinks it's all about them, that's wrong. It's never just about you, because whether you like it or not, you mean something to somebody else. So you owe it to that audience to be the best you can be for them. The number of young women that come up to me now and say, Miss Ralph, thank you for being you. I see what you did. And what makes me feel so good is that I really did do exactly what they see. I chose certain roles. I didn't do certain roles because I wanted them to feel good about their own possibilities by seeing me. I'm an immigrant's child, and my mother from Jamaica. I'll never forget,
Love Jamaica.
love Jamaica. I'll never forget being in America, and when people, teachers would tell you, lower the bar of your expectations, don't aim so high, and it won't happen. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, they haven't seen the world. They don't know what's out there. I've seen Wakanda. I've seen the Black doctor, the Black lawyer, the Black dance company, the Black theater company, the Black president, prime minister. I've seen it, and it's beautiful. So when you say don't aim high, the devil is a liar. And they just didn't know. They didn't know.
No, they didn't know. And so many women, and specifically speaking of women, that we listen to that and we take that in. And there's so many of us who refuse to live our truth, or not able to live our truth to who we are, because society has put these barriers and these walls, and it's placed us in a box as caretakers of everyone else, and not as being able to take care of ourselves first, and then being true to ourselves. What is our true calling? But you have set the example for what that is, for us to actually do that.
Thank you.
And so I have a quick question for you. I'm gonna just switching gears just a little bit. Now, during this Corona quarantine, I know you have a podcast that you're working on. Divas, I don't want to say
Diva Simply Quarantine.
Diva Simply, because I know Diva Simply Singing. I love Diva Simply Singing. Diva Simply Quarantine. But I wanted to switch gears to the pandemic, and I just wanted to know how that I know it hasn't affected you professionally, because you already said you keep on going and you're going to do what you're going to do. And if they have to swab you and take a test every 2 days, that's what that's going to be. That was one of my questions. But I wanted to ask, how do you think that this will change the theater going experience? Not only as an actress, but also as a theater goer, because on stage, we are not. It's going to be hard to act in masks or act in barriers, and then even to sit next to anyone. So I want to know, what are your thoughts about the future of the theater with this pandemic?
I remember this summer watching a theater company. I think it was Godspell that they were doing, and this was up in Maine or Vermont or someplace where Corona hadn't really hit badly, and the artists were separated from themselves, but they still performed. It was the 6 feet of separation. But the hard part with performing is, if you ever experience the spray of
exactly that,
the spray of artists, whether you're singing or you're speaking, there's so much that comes out that's got to be dealt with. But we have an artist in this year's Divas Simply Singing, Janae Bridges, an opera artist, and she performs with a mask on. And I'm telling you, if you've got to perform, you have got to perform. And the way she performs, and you're like, and with a mask on, wow. They're going to change masks. You're going to see more of, the shields in some way. You're going to see more of the transparencies that way until they get the vaccine correct. You're going to see a lot of what is needed for art to carry on. You're just going to see that. But I don't think we're going to see theater for at least another year or so. I just don't think it's going to happen. Those theaters, and it's funny when money takes over. A lot of those theaters were reconfigured back in the day to get as many people in as possible.
They were, yeah.
And theater is so, Broadway theater is so expensive. It's so expensive. So you got to have all those people. I think about it and I think to myself, wow, do you know I did 1,247 performances of Dreamgirls? That's a lot of performances, right?
Yes.
In one episode of Moesha, one episode of Motherland Fort Salem, I meet all of that audience in one night. In one
Wow.
night. So, you know, it's interesting, but there's nothing like live theater. But a lot of things are going to change, and it's going to have to change. It's going to have to change. We might see more outdoor theater. We might see more things out in the round. We might see people understanding social distancing and masks. We might see all of that. But theater is a place for the imagination, and the imagination will take over.
Yes, and the theater company and all of the people that encompass it, the board of directors, the artistic director, the creatives involved, that's our responsibility to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to.
And when we have to, just like you're doing, we are actually going to have a reading of Othello the first week of December. Yes, via this platform. Just
I love it.
to keep the theater relevant in this time, because we cannot let, as we all know, the show must go on.
Well, you know what? There's one thing COVID taught me. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. At some point, you might have to stop, pause, and think, I might need to protect myself so that I can do the show the next time. I think that I have just pivoted from that thought, and I'm more like, well, maybe it doesn't have to go on. Well, obviously it doesn't have to go on because it's not.
There's that.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to cut now to our section of, we're going to have a live Q&A.
Oh, great. I love questions and answers.
Oh, we have so many people in the audience who are excited to talk to you. And I know there's one in particular, a lovely young lady that I spoke with last week. And Darlene, I'm calling you out. So go ahead and ask a question. She's making a transition she's in the East Coast now, and she's just making a transition. Really, she's in her late 20s, and she's decided that this is what she wants to do. She wants to be an actress. Great. And I was trying to guide, and I said, you need to tune in this evening, and any question that you would like to ask the amazing Sheryl Lee Ralph, please feel free to ask her, because you have, all the experience, and that you would be able to share any information that you can with lovely young ladies, older ladies, people who are making, just trying to figure it out as we battle with everything between George Floyd and COVID, and it's just so much. So I'm calling her out, and I know that we're going to have a Q&A. My last question for you is, and this just came to me, how do you keep it all together? Like, what do you do for Sheryl's self-care? How do you maintain?
Love Sheryl. I love Sheryl. I love Sheryl. I appreciate Sheryl. I encourage Sheryl. I empower Sheryl. I get up in the morning, I look at Sheryl in the mirror and I say, girl, yes, honey, let's do this. Let's do this again. And let's be good to ourselves so we can be better to others. Oh, yes, I love myself. And that's how I start my self-care. And I do everything I can to make my life good for me. I have a tendency to work pretty hard. And sometimes I work a little bit too hard, not giving myself enough of a break sometime. But I don't know. I just have to keep my batteries charged, and I have to keep moving forward. And I'm always in my mind, it's like I'm young. It's like I always have to hold the young me by the hand and say, girl, you better keep up. You better come on. So, that's my thought on it.
Okay. Well, hey, you have just encouraged me. I'm going to start thinking that way and just just doing it.
The
Just doing
mind
it.
is a terrible thing to waste, and a lot of us waste our minds on foolishness.
Yeah.
We get stuck in something bad that happened to us, and we can't shake it. We just got to hold on to the bad. And I tell people, you know what? I have got to let that all go because it will mess up my good looks, and I can't have that.
I know that's right. No wrinkles.
No,
No, no, no. No.
no, no. I got to take care of myself and take care of the people around me.
Mm, I love it. I love it. And you're doing a doggone great job.
Thank you.
A great job. So
Thank
our first question is from Jennifer Frazier.
Yes.
Jennifer, are you there? Jennifer.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey,
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Hi.
Girl, I love the red lips. Love
I
that
wore
red
this
lipstick.
red lips just for you, just for you, just for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I can't
New
wait till
things
yours
coming
comes
out.
out. I know when yours comes out, I'm purchasing it. I will be putting it on and posting a picture and tagging you.
Thank you. You know, I appreciate that.
Yes, yes. So I am definitely a huge, huge fan. And if I could sit with you and tell you how you have impacted my life, and I really believe that I am a performer and even still alive because of your artistry and just because how you present yourself. You're such an inspiration, especially for someone who didn't grow up with a mom. You have been my mother. So just want to tell you that first. Aside from that, I am a singer, dancer, actress. I have played Dina Jones, and I've also played Effie White.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm also 37 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I'm kind of wondering, I've been really feeling in my heart lately that it's time for me to really give my career my full attention. I've been splitting it between corporate America and the arts, and I'm literally like ready to pack up my bags and move to LA. And I just want to know what would be your advice for me during this time? Like, what would
Okay.
be the first step?
You know, you have to be financially able because it's hard. You know, why do people always wait tables or whatever? Because they have to support themselves sometime with something else. So save all your money.
Yes,
California's not cheap.
right.
You have to either spend your money on Uber or buy a car. We don't really have public transportation, so you've got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you've got to be versed not just in acting, but you have to be able to do what you see us doing now. You have to be able to do a Zoom. You have to be able to do a self-tape. You have to be able to, it's no longer you're just the actor. You have to be the producer.
Yeah.
You have to be your own director. You have to do your own wardrobe styling. You have to do your own hair. You have to do your own makeup. That has all been thrust upon us as artists as a result of COVID. I booked a voiceover, and I'm telling you, because I'm also a vocal actor. They sent the studio to my hotel room. I had to set up the studio to do my job.
Yes.
That's a big change. So you got to be ready for all of that, because if you're not able to do it, you're spending more money.
Yeah. I live right in Hayward, so I'm just a short drive. I've done a few auditions in LA, but I just didn't know if it was worth it me actually moving to start.
Why move when most of it's done virtually now?
Yeah.
Nobody's doing in-person auditions. Everybody's doing virtual auditions. Everybody's doing self-tapes. Everybody's doing Zoom meetings. You know, you meet your director, your producer on Zoom now. So why make the move when you may not have to make the move? But now we've talked all around the part that is very, very important. What about the quality of your talent?
Well, I feel like I'm extremely talented. I have been doing this since I was 9 years old. And because of my upbringing, it just I've been taking care of myself for a long time. So I never really just jumped feet first because I was afraid of ending up homeless. But I ended up going to beauty school. And so I didn't know if I wanted to enter into the business through doing hair and makeup or on stage. And I just realized however it works, however I can get there is what I'm willing to do.
Well, that's the way you've got to feel. And you got to have a good class. You got to have a good class. Even when I was starring on Broadway doing Dreamgirls, I was in class. And I'm going to tell you what my teacher told me. I had a great teacher. Her name was Uta Hagen. She was probably one of the great she was the Desdemona to Paul Robeson's Othello. And I remember the first thing she said is, first thing, buy my book, read my book. So I'm going to tell you, download my book.
I've listened to it 5 times.
And there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So you've learned quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, you have. And one of those things you have to get onto also is, like I keep saying, you got to get that agent, got to get that representation, and representation matters.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. And our next question is from Kimberly Miller. Kimberly, are you there? Kimberly?
That's the Zoom. You know what happens
Right.
with the Zoom.
And there it is. Okay, well, do we have another question? Samia Allen. Hi, Samia, are you there?
Yeah, my name is
Hi,
Samaya.
Samia. Oh my goodness. Okay. This young person
I knew
right
it. I
here.
knew it.
Let me tell you about this young person right here. I don't know this person, but social media is a very interesting place.
Oh,
I
no.
don't know how this young person discovered me,
I
but
need to
this
say that.
young person created something called, what is it? All Things Sheryl Lee? Is that what it is?
Oh no, I didn't create that. That's not me.
Which one is yours?
No, I don't have a fan page for you. Actually, I actually did the vote video and
Go on.
And from your experience and how you inspired me, you really like helped me understand the importance of voting. So I thought like if I could just if I could just use my voice and just tell people about voting, I thought that would be great. Because I thought my voice wasn't important at first until I started, listening to you. And then I started to actually realize what my worth was what it actually was. So I'm kind of
And
nervous.
you've been doing such a great job.
Thank you.
Mean, I watched from where I saw you start, and I watched you make your presentation just a few weeks ago. And I said to myself, oh my God, this little girl is actually improving and just getting better. So this is what I want to say to you. I want you to own the fact that you have a voice. How old are you?
I'm only 12, actually.
I thought you were very young. And I want you to understand that even if you're very young, your voice matters. And what I've seen you do and say on social media, it's important, because even at 12 years old, you start having an impact on your own peers. So I remember, was it you who said to me something about talking badly, and you said, no, I'm going to start to talk better.
Yeah.
That's
you saw
important.
that video?
Yes.
Oh, man.
It's important to realize I can be better, because you never know who is watching you. And I don't know how you found me. I don't know why you stay connected to me on social media, but I really appreciate you. And in 9 years, you are going to still be in touch with me, and you're going to say to me, Miss Ralph, I have graduated from college and I'm going on to get my master's. And I just want you to know that I have done the things that I told you that I could do. And I'm waiting for it. And you're going to buy me a nice, expensive pocketbook. Thank you.
Everybody tells me that, especially with the voice I have. Like, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what advice can you give to me for, my singing, like my voice? Because I have a really great voice, but I'm not afraid to use it because I'm very, confident when I sing, but I don't know. I just be afraid to use it. I don't know how to really use it. Honestly.
Just sing. Just sing. Just sing. No, honestly, just sing. If you're afraid to use your voice, nothing stops more people than themselves. Nothing. And you are stopping yourself. You are blocking your blessing. And you see what you do? You see how you cover your mouth? Stop it. Start singing. When I started singing, I would sing because I couldn't help it. Oh, I had to sing. People had to hear me. And my father was so funny. My father, he would say, oh, you got to work on that pitch, baby. No, there's a key that the song should be sung in. Try and stick to one. Just stick to the key. So all of that happens by practice. Practice. Get in the shower. When you're walking, sing. And sing like nobody's listening.
I do that 24/7.
Yourself. One more question. Go ahead.
For me?
Go ahead. What is it?
Oh no, I really, somebody in the comments just told me to sing, but I don't know.
Go ahead. Let me hear you sing. See that? Look at you stopping yourself. Look at you.
Okay.
Pick a simple song and just sing.
Okay.
You could do this, girl.
All right. I wanna leave my footprint on the sands of time. See, there's something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I leave no regrets. Leave something to remember so they won't forget.
Okay, stop. There's something called diaphragmatic breathing, right?
Yes.
We sing from way down here. We don't sing from here. And every singer centers themselves. You center yourself and you take that deep breath down there because that's all the support you're going to get, right? So you center yourself, you take that deep breath and you sing. And listen, when you sing, don't think about how anybody else may have sung this song. Think about how you are going to sing this song. Who's that talking to you? Your mother?
It's my brother and my mother. I'm so sorry.
I love it. Your brother is always trying to tell you you're okay. Hi,
no,
baby
I need to tell him to leave me alone. But I love you though.
Smile, do you want to compare?
You lucky I'm on camera.
Do you want to learn how to go on camera?
Yes.
Smile,
Okay.
Computer tonight?
Let's go. You can play on my phone. Go.
Roby Group, you see, the audience is getting younger and younger. We never know who's watching it. That's right, girl. Anyway, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing and stay in touch with me. I see you out there doing your thing. What's your name?
Samaya.
Samaya, I love what you're doing, girl. Where do you live, Samaya?
Oh, Georgia.
Really?
Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. One day you'll see me.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. I wouldn't even miss this for the world.
Oh, mwah.
Mwah.
Thank you, Samaya. Thank you, sweetheart.
I have 12-year-old fans. I love it.
You reached everyone. You reached all ages, the entire spectrum. You are relatable to all women of every color.
Thank you.
Well, Jennifer DaCosta has a question for us. Jennifer, are you there?
Jennifer DaCosta, social media friend. There you go. Look at that.
Well, hello, my darling.
Hello, my darling Jenny DaCosta. How are you?
I am wonderful. God has truly blessed me, and you are just an inspiration to all your viewers, your fans. I just can't
you.
thank you enough. Your
Thank
book has been absolutely amazing. I have read it. I have also have been doing this meditation class. I have about 20 viewers now, and I've been singing as well.
Good for
I,
you.
yes.
And how are things with the corona and all of that? How's your family?
Praise God, my family as well. I'm back to work. I just got a promotion at the U.S. Army base on Staten Island
Good for
as a
you.
supervisor.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes, so I'm coming along really well. I also do a prayer line meeting every Wednesday evening. Everybody's very welcome to join.
Well,
I started out with 5 people, but I'm up to 35 participants now.
and all of that has been a blessing to you from corona as you develop
Right.
your skills and come out of your shell and just be yourself,
Yeah.
because we are all wonderfully and perfectly made. Do you have a question for me today?
Yes, I do. So what motivates you when you sing?
What motivates me when I sing?
And
Most
who do you
times,
think, and who do you think about?
for
Who's-
me, it's not about thinking about, I had this conversation today. We were planning songs for Divas Simply Singing, which is going to be aired December 5th. And I was talking about the
Awesome.
fact that I used to compare myself to other singers. And one day another singer, and I basically got in my head that I could not sing. And the other singer pulled me aside and they were like, girl, you're trying to sing like a flute and you're a clarinet. Just sing your clarinet song, because nobody's going to sing the way you sing. Just do
That's right.
you. So now when I sing, all I can do is sing my song. And when I sing, it's not so much the notes and the this and all of that, the notes and the
Right.
runs, the this. It's usually because when I sing, I'm trying to convey a message. So for me, I think
Wow.
about the message that I'm trying to convey. What am I trying to get people to feel when I sing? So thank you.
Wow.
That was a great question. And I'm happy to see that things are going along well for you. You're looking well,
Yes.
doing your thing, and God bless your family.
God bless you. And I plan to do my own commercials for you for your red lips, like Jennifer Fraser said. I will
All right
be.
then.
Yep. I
Thank
guess
you.
Jennifer's are really the best.
There you go. I got a lot of Jennifers in my life. There you go.
I
Thank
love you,
Jenny.
darling.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Jennifer. Thank you. Our next, we're going to go back to Kimberly. Kimberly Miller. She's new to
Hi.
Zoom, and so she was on mute last time. But Kimberly,
Are you
Yes,
able to
that'll
hear me?
happen.
you hear
Hi,
me?
I'm Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi,
I'm
Kimberly.
28 years old, and I reside in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi. Go on. Tell me. Ask me your question.
Sure. My question for you is, how has keeping a relationship with God stabilized the longevity of your career?
Wow. You want to know something? I have always known and believed that there was something greater than me. There is God or the great goddess, because sometimes, God's got to be a woman because things couldn't be so perfect if God wasn't a woman. But I just know and believe that no weapon formed against me, that I will continue to prosper. And I'm going to tell you a little story. I was very young and I was singing for the Department of Defense. And I went on 2 tours of duty. And on my first tour of duty, I was on a very small island called Truk. And you can walk from one end of Truk to the other. And I think that's where they keep the atomic clock, the clock that keeps the world on clock, on schedule, on time. And I was doing laundry, and this man walked in and he gave me a small Bible. And he said, never forget that there is God and God is there for you. Now, I'm on this small island that you can walk from one end to the other, right? It's not a big island. It's not a mile long. It's a tiny island. Do you know that I never saw that man again? Never saw that man again. But I've always remembered that God is there for me and always watching. And I don't have to tell people about that because people see it. Because all I have to do is be the best me. I don't have to proselytize. I don't have to do any of that. I just have to know what I know, what I know. That's it. Thank you for your question.
Yes. Do you have time for another question?
Okay, go ahead. One more, because I got to go eat, girl.
Okay. What was it like working with Danny Glover and Charles Burnett in To Sleep with Anger?
Okay. This was a very interesting process for me from day one. Charles Burnett wanted me in the film. He wanted me in that role. He wanted an obviously Black girl. He wanted a chocolate Black girl. He said, this girl, the world has to see as smart, beautiful, and upwardly mobile. So I was the image that he wanted. The white producers said, well, maybe we need somebody lighter. Okay? Charles fought for me. They were like, you know, her legs are just too big. What? Right. Charles fought to me. Charles said her talent is even bigger. He fought for me. I get the role. We do the film. It's a low budget film. We're crushed and cramped for time. There was what I felt was an important scene in the movie, and they were going to cut the scene. For me, doing the movie was all for that one scene. They were going to cut it. I was devastated. I couldn't believe that they were going to cut the scene. I left the set. I was crying. I said, I put all this work in and they're going to leave this scene out. I was just crying. And I had to walk down a hill because we were being shoveled up a hill. I walked down a hill. I got into my doggone little trailer and I started packing my bag. And I have a knock on the door and it is Danny Glover. Danny's like, Sheryl, where you going? Where you going? What's wrong? I said, they said that they're cutting the scene, that they're not getting. He said, Sheryl, we can't finish the movie if you're not there. So come back, we're gonna shoot your scene. Guess what they did? They shot my scene. I had one take. And they were just gonna pan from left to right and keep me in the shot. I had one shot at it. They got the scene and I won Best Actress for the Independent Filmmakers Award. And I swear it was for that scene. Why do I feel it was that scene? Because that scene was the one they kept playing over and over about my performance. So the moral to the story is you got to have a director that can fight for you. You got to have the kind of producer like Danny Glover who will fight for you. And you better have the talent to back it up because you just might win an award. That part.
Okay.
I'm so grateful to Charles Burnett and for seeing that in you as a chocolate woman, because I'm a chocolate woman, and his seeing that light in you has impacted me greatly to just believe in myself and try and go after something that I never even thought that I could or should. So thank you, Charles Burnett, and thank you, Sheryl Ralph.
You are so welcome. And all I can say is dream, girl, exclamation point, dream, and make it happen. Come on now.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, sure, we have 3 more questions and that's it. 3 more. So please, our audience, please just ask your most important one question so that Sheryl can go eat. We don't want you to starve. We need you healthy and strong to keep on blazing that trail for us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So
So
our
what's
next
the next question.
The next question is from Marva Smith.
I love Marva Smith. You know, I've known Marva Smith almost as long as I have known Jennifer Lewis, and I've known Jennifer a long time. Marva's one of those real great talents. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me just say where we.
Oh, it's the other Marva Smith. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Marva. Go ahead.
No, you're talking about that, Marvin, but let me tell you how we know each other.
Come on.
I worked for Congresswoman Maxine Waters, and you were our go-to actress to do all of our community events, and was willing to go to the Nickerson Gardens with us. I just want y'all to know all the graciousness that's in. Yeah, that's me. So all the graciousness that she has, she is a ride or die person as an activist as well. So, and that's 19.
Marva.
Yes.
Let me tell you something about that.
Yeah.
And I write about this in the book. You remember that Christmas we were in Nickerson Gardens, and
Yes.
that was the blue neighborhood, I believe. Their color was
Red.
blue, I think.
Red.
Oh, theirs was red.
Yes, Jordan was blue, but
okay, so we went to Jordan Downs.
Yes.
And their color is blue. Do you remember?
I remember.
Christmas, girl. What color did I show up in? Red.
But I wasn't gonna tell all the details of what went down, but yes, I'm just saying you went. That I was prefacing my question though. I don't want to belabor, but we got stories. So anyway,
we got stories, girl.
We got stories.
Good to see you, Marva. But go ahead, ask your question.
That scene, one of those scenes, made it into my film script. So I'll send it to you for clearance. Anyway,
there you go.
I don't know that you know that I act and sing, and so I've been doing that professionally now. I'm also the grant writer development consultant for the Roby Theater Company. So my life has changed quite a bit.
Wow.
And I'm not lazy, right? I've never been lazy. So I heard you say that earlier, but I am struggling with this whole balance thing. Like, I didn't know I was going to make it today on here because I had to hit a submit for a Roby grant today. I take my acting classes on Wednesday, just trying to get my scenes down, doing my self-tape. I'm trying, and I really am talented. So there's got to be something else I'm not doing.
No, stop that. People always think that. Stop that. If you're really doing it, you're being conscientious about doing it. You're showing up for yourself in your own life. That is what more can the world ask of you? Absolutely. But stop blocking yourself with those kind of thoughts. For me,
time to time.
That's it.
Right.
That's it. And we get frustrated, and frustration is there for you to think about what it is you're doing. Sometimes you need to rethink and do better. Sometimes you need to think and maybe do less. Maybe if it's getting out of control, you said you started out saying the balance, maybe you're spinning too much, got too many plates in the sky. Maybe you need to bring it down a moment. Maybe you need to take a vacation. Maybe you need
to hear that, Ben Guillory? Ben Guillory, you heard that? Yes.
But listen, you can't let anybody else figure that out for you. Right. You've got to start working on your own timetable, not somebody else's.
Yes, that's the goal. Absolutely. Thank you.
Do you and believe that you are enough just the way you are. And when you start to feel that balance, figure out how to get still again.
Right. Right.
That's all that is. Because
Right.
out of balance, people start getting weak underneath trying to get all of that. And then it's like, oh my God, it's all gonna come down. No.
Right.
Stop.
And with all the issues that the country is facing right now, we were in I had to work. You know what I'm saying? There were elections to be won and the like. So yeah, that's it. Right. 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 And you do it better than anybody I know. So I was like, maybe she's got some jewels. I done downloaded the Audible.
Oh, thank you. Read and listen.
Yes.
And listen again.
I see Ben showed up. Yes, Ben. What? Yeah.
I hear you.
Okay, thank you, Marva.
I'm gonna say, remember what Sheryl Lee said every time Ben hymns me up. Hi.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
we have one more question and then we will bring in Ben to close it out. Marva, was that your? Okay, thank you, Marva. And finally, we have Darlene Harris is our next question.
Hi.
Hi.
So Melina kind of alluded to this earlier. I am currently on the East Coast and I am working on a career change right now. Art is where I'm happiest. I live and breathe art and I have been for a very long time. And my job now is just suffocating. And so I've been, I even picked up the cello and things like that to just keep on creating art while we're in this quarantine state. But my question is, what is one of the best pieces of advice you've received from one of your mentors that has helped you in your career?
I started out by saying that Virginia Capers was an incredible mentor to me, great actress, great singer. And she said, she always believed in me. She always believed I was going to do great. She always believed, she thought that if the change was going to happen, that I would be a part of that change. And Virginia Capers told me, I was in college, and she said, Sheryl, you've got to act. You've got to sing. You've got to dance. And if you can't dance, then you've got to move well. And let's go back to singing. Sing in 3 languages. I'm like, what the heck is this woman trying to say to me? Basically, the lesson was that we, Black girl, Black person, period, are going to have to work twice as hard for half a chance. And whatever it is they're going to ask of us, we have got to come correct and we have got to come ready. And that has served me well. And then she gave me a book. And I'll never forget, this book had something to do about ego. And it was to make sure that I set my ego aside. Because if I were to live by my ego, if I were to give my ego strength, I would fail. Because nobody was going to want to be around that. Nobody was going to love that. And I write in my book that if people give me things, it's not because I demand it of them. It's because they want to give it to me. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, that was some of the best advice. Try not to put yourself first as much as you put others first, but take care of yourself first. Like you hear it on the plane all the time when you're flying, they say, in case of an emergency, put your own mask on first before you help others. Because see, once you're able to do that, girl, please, there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't achieve. For 30 years, I've been doing this event with volunteers who come wanting to be a part of what we're doing. And that's because you give them a space to be themselves and share and feel wonderful. You know, so that was the advice. And in my book, I think some of the best advice I can give readers is do you find your joy, live in your joy. You just said that you've got a job that does not make you happy. I got a whole chapter on that. You know what unhappy people are very good at doing? Making sure that everybody around them is unhappy. Find your joy and live in it, because everything will change. Your walk will change, your talk will change, because you're living in your joy. And with that, you will have joy to share. But above all, do you, because everybody else is taken.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen to that. And on that note, wow, on that one, we have one final question from
Girl, these
Walsh.
people are waiting for me. Lord have
waiting.
mercy.
Thais Walsh
Girl is
has
late.
one question for you.
Go ahead.
It's because you're too fabulous. You are living our dream.
I know you won't agree. It's gonna be
Thank
okay.
you.
Thais,
It's Thais.
Oh my gosh. This is my good girlfriend, Thais.
Yes.
Thais and I have known each other since I was definitely around 19 or 20.
18, 19. Yes, we
go.
were both in New York together.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Modeling. We were at the same agency.
Ford.
You were at Ford and I was at Black Beauty trying to get to Ford. Because girl, you were on a whole nother level. Yes.
But now you're on a whole nother level. And I just want to say, but we've been friends forever. I love her. And I just want to say how you all know how wonderful. I came in just to say she's not giving you the full scoop on who she is. She is a giver. She helps other people. She gave me a job as an actress, and she just gives to you. So if you're talented and you got it and she sees you, she's gonna make sure that you got what you need. So just know that. And I love her so much for that. But I want to ask you, what's the difference between your directing and your acting, and which one you like the best? Because you just directed something. Did you tell them about the piece you just directed?
See, that's why you have to have friends. I just directed a piece for BET, and it was called Like, Comment, and Subscribe. And it was a health initiative by BET. And this particular film, it was hard for me because it was about breast cancer. And you know this, Thais, my brother married his partner and she died a month later. And that was basically the story. She had died. The character, social media, beautiful young girl, gets engaged and she dies. And it was really hard to do that right in the midst of her living and dying and the cancer and everything. But I realized that I am an actor's director. I guess that means I'm basically a theater or a stage director. I don't know, but if there are actors who need directing, I'm able to meet them where they are and bring them to their performance. And when I saw myself doing that, I started to have this feeling when I get in on center stage, every time I enter a theater, I always have to stand center stage because I feel that's where I belong. I love it. I'm home. And I got to acting and there I was behind that clapboard and it started and there was my name and I said, action. And I got the feeling that I was center stage. And it was just like, it's like an out of body experience that you are right where you're supposed to be. And I loved doing it. The film aired on BET, Her, and we tripled their ratings on a Saturday night, 7 to 8 p.m.
And I just want to say you're a great director, because when she hired me to do a piece for her that she was helping produce, she really came in, and everybody says right now that on my reel, that's the best work. So I thank you so much for that. So you're a great director as well. Love you. I'll talk to you soon.
My friend. I'll talk to you soon. Call me.
Okay.
For real, on the other number.
I don't have, call me then.
No.
Because
then
I'm dialing
text
the
me.
wrong number then.
Exactly.
Because okay.
Exactly. All right then.
Thank you, Thais. Thank you. And finally, we're going to wrap it on up with our last commentary from our artistic director, co-founder, Mr. Ben Guillory.
I love Ben Guillory.
And I love Sheryl Lee Ralph. Sheryl Lee Ralph, you know, when we opened this door of conversations with artists, we wanted to hear what you and other artists had to say. And I can't tell you how inspirational you are, Sheryl. We need to hear this from artists such as yourself. And I don't use the word artist lightly. Artists have passion, and we have just witnessed your passion. We have witnessed truth, so real. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are just inspirational. Samia Allen, you may not have processed what you have heard tonight yet, and I'm sure it'll stay with you because it is so inspirational. But as this artist has said, sing, just do it, just sing. Let all that other stuff go, open your mouth and make the sounds, and it will be fine. It will be all right. It will be perfect. Sheryl Lee Ralph, God bless you.
Thank you.
We are gifted to have you here tonight. It's been wonderful. See you soon.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sheryl. We so appreciate you being here. And thank you, everyone out there in Zoom land, Facebook Live.
Follow me.
All of you watching, please follow the amazing Sheryl Lee Ralph. Please, Sheryl, can you just tell us quickly where we can find all of your headband, your lipstick, just promote so that everybody can follow you.
Please download
shopwithsheryllee.com.
You heard that. Shopwithsheryllee.com. That's my side hustle. Please, all the young artists and young women who need a good read, please download my book, Redefining Diva 2.0. You can get it on Audible. Redefining Diva 2.0 on Audible. December 5th, if you're in LA, you can turn on KTLA and watch the 30th annual Diva Simply Singing. Otherwise, you can watch it live streamed on KTLA's Facebook page or the Diva Simply Singing Facebook page. So there you have it. And follow me on Instagram, the THE Sheryl, SHERYL, capital LEERALPH, the Sheryl Lee Ralph.
The Sheryl Lee Ralph. Okay.
Or I should say the.
The Sheryl Lee Ralph. Everyone, please follow the Sheryl Lee Ralph. And please follow us at the Roby Theater Company. And if Christmas is coming up, all of the holiday things, so you can go to Sheryl's side and get some good gifts. And you can always make a donation to especially Divas Simply Singing, and especially the Roby Theater Company, because we are a nonprofit organization. We cannot survive without you and without your support. So please, whatever you're able to give, no amount is too small, and we accept all amounts.
And so no amount is too large either.
I was just gonna
Thank you.
We accept all amounts. So just go to therobytheatercompany.org. You're welcome to please donate to us. And it is tax deductible, and that time is here. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much, Sheryl, for being our inspiration, being our life, and being our dream of the amazing, not dream girl, you are a dream woman. You're our dream. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy your
everybody.
dinner
Take
with
care.
Richard tonight.
All right now. Bye-bye. See, they even know where I'm going. Lord have mercy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.